This is an editorial about the Santa Monica library system. They made some changes recently, and now if you are not a resident of the city of Santa Monica, it will cost you $25 a year to use the public library. And I think that's a terrible idea, and I think it's a real shame, and I'll tell you why. First of all, public libraries are city services like police or fire fighting, and I don't think you can put a price tag on police protection. I don't think you can put a price tag on fire service, and I don't think you can put a price tag on library availability, because at different times in your life, you or your family may use the library more or less, and you shouldn't really be charged a prorated amount, for how much or how little you use it at any given time. You may lose a job, and then all of a sudden you can't rent videos at the video store, or you have to cancel your Netflix account or cancel your cable bill. And then all of a sudden the library becomes your main source of entertainment. And it's just something that I think a lot of people depend on. Now, Santa Monica, the city, actually butts up against Los Angeles and Pacific Palisades, and anybody who lives in Los Angeles or this Southern California area knows that cities run into each other. I mean, one stops and the next begins, and you almost don't even know it as you're driving along. And people often live in one area and work in another. It's just the way things work. And many people, including me, live in Los Angeles, and we spend an awful lot of our time in Santa Monica. And frankly, I volunteer an awful lot for two major organizations in Santa Monica. Volunteer, that means I work without pay. And I do it gladly. I really enjoy what I do for those organizations. But I'm basically, what I'm saying is I'm giving an awful lot to that city. And I kind of don't like the idea that now they want to charge me for using the library. Now, LA has a library system, and it's huge. But in some ways, Santa Monica's is better. And I could outline them, but that's not what this is about. The point is that I like the idea of being able to use both, particularly when I'm in Santa Monica quite so much. Frankly, I live 2 blocks from the city limits of Santa Monica. And I'm not the only one who lives outside of Santa Monica but spends a lot of time volunteering in Santa Monica. Now, another thing that I find fault with is that Santa Monica Library is building a new branch. I think it's at the Virginia Avenue Park, and that's great, and I think it's wonderful that they'll be serving more people. Of course, that new branch is not that far from an existing branch, and I wasn't really aware that there was any kind of an outcry from citizens requesting this new branch, but I'm glad they're doing it. But does that mean that the $25 that they want to charge non-residents is going toward building this new branch, which is only going to benefit residents? I don't fully understand that. And frankly, there's another thing too, which is that a couple of years ago, the Santa Monica had a perfectly good main library building. I mean, I liked it. It was beautiful. It was huge. And I'm not a seismologist or anything like that, so I don't know exactly what was wrong with the structure of it. Maybe it was not earthquake proof, but it was torn down, and an entirely new main library was built, and it's beautiful. I don't know that it's that much better than the old one. I'm not a librarian, so maybe there's a great advantages, but the thing is that I just don't know that it was the best idea to embark on these huge building projects and then, of course, turn around, not long after that and start charging people. I don't understand why they didn't just plan better. Because, these fees are going to hurt a lot of people. And if you have money coming in regularly and you're doing fine, yeah, $25, big deal. It's a dinner. It's a dinner out with friends. It's not that big a deal. But if you don't have $25, or you're not, you know what I'm trying to say, then suddenly $25 is just as bad as $500 because you simply don't have it. And there's one more thing, which is the library is going to lose more money than it takes in these fees. And I'll tell you why. Because for people who really depend on a library system, or used to depend on it, a $25 fee is suddenly going to turn library usage from something that they can depend on to a luxury service that they can consider cutting out. Just like they're cutting out Netflix, fresh flower delivery. I mean, whatever they have coming to their home, whatever expense can be cut out, a library fee might be among them. And frankly, if you're going to compete with services like Netflix or some kind of a rental house for videos or entertainment or cable TV, the library does a pretty good job of serving up old movies, serving up movies that you can put a reserve on, maybe get them a couple of months later after they've been released to the video stores and video services. But it really can't compete on a paying level. It can only compete because it's free. And if it's not going to be free, it's not that great. I just think that this is a matter of people shooting themselves in the foot, of the city services shooting themselves in the foot. I urge the Santa Monica government to get rid of this annual fee. And there's one more thing I want to throw in there. Some people may think that, if we start charging for their library use, then that will get rid of people who are using the library for purposes other than borrowing books and borrowing videos, like they're washing their hair in the bathroom, or they're falling asleep on the couch or something like that. It's not going to do anything to those people, because those people don't take books out. They come into the library to do these things, and they're not taking books home because they don't have a home. So charging a fee isn't going to make any difference to them, because they don't ever need to use a library card. They just want to come in and get warm. Anyway, I wanted to throw that in, but I urge Santa Monica, the city, to get rid of the library fee. Thanks for listening.